Makapoli hono e honane hea ke inu vai Hakamaru Makapoli ihono onane he ahei nubai akamaru Uvale maino e kualoha kupua po okai e nau o ka pako unane a ka mahina uvale na lewa a ka haina ia mai ana ka he ake I nuai akamaru hainga ia mai ana ka puana he ake inu ai a kau
Thank you. Sorry, Emerald.
Emerald?
Ireland.
Really? Oh, mercy. Beautiful, beautiful. And a Busendorf.
You asked me to explain how I feel when I'm without you. Like rainbows with no sky and angels that can't fly. But how do I explain all the things I feel about you? There is no other way, and I simply have to say, with every sunrise, I love you, I love you, until the sunset. I love you, I love you, and every moment thereafter, until the morning dew. I love you, I love you, I love you, and time will come and go when I'll be right here beside you, as earth as to the tree, and the sand as to the sea. As time goes on and on, you will see how much I need you, for I will be with you until my life is through. With every sunrise, I love you, I love you, until the sunset. I love you, I love you, and every moment thereafter, until the morning dew. I love you, I love you, I love you. Oh, come on in. Oh, me, mama. Kind of know. Beautiful kahana. The flower style. From F to G to A. Yeah. So the thing go like that. Maunoa, I can't feel it. Oh, man. I know you was there. I know. Oh. saying that it's you, dear. Well, it's you, just you, my darling. Kekauoha, lady. You are just mine alone. There'll be no one in your place. There'll be no one in your place. Wow. We like to play over here every time now. Oh man. Wow, you gotta do your sign. Is it appropriate? Yeah, it is. Oh, come on, into me. Come on. See. Oh. Oh, my God. Okay. Here. Epuna ele, see. Bring us in. Epuna ele. No problem. Oh, man. Phew. God, that was nice. Okay. There you go. That's
Welcome in the house.
But that means we gotta come back over here and everything. I would not doubt that at all. Shucks. Yes. Yeah. Oh. Kaleolani, o Kaleolani, koino, kuhome, 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 o Kekauoha, kaulana. Kaleolani, o Kaleolani, koino, kuhome, 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 o Kekauoha, kaulana. Kaleolani, koino, kuaina, ukulai, ahui, ikekahi, kaulana, Aloha, auia mauna ke ao. I ke anu o ke ahi ahi. Ho'olomo, ho'olomo, ho'olomo. I ka leo hamakani. This song was written for our cousin Piggy Kaleolani. Hamun Kaukahi wrote this song. And what a coincidence. All four of us, all from Kekauoha. And also,
Sorry, this is the only candle
the
I
one who is
have.
celebrating the life of
I thought I had one.
Kekauoha, also Kekauoha. And it's such a pleasure. Aloha, ya mauna ke ao. I ke anu o ke ahi ahi. Ho'olono, ho'olono, ho'olono. I ka leo hamakani. Keu kahano e kaoi. We send our love and aloha to the ohana. Thank you for having us. We mahalo all of you. And to our law enforcement officers, all those who are involved, we ask that you be safe to you and your family. And that goes to all of us. We must take care of each other. Our kuleana is to take care of not only our land, but each other. We send our love and aloha to the ohana. And our pastor, Brother Makukani. Love and aloha.
Morning. Hold on, let me grab my notes. Sorry, before we begin, the bathrooms are right outside at that white trailer building, if you have to go to the bathroom. Aloha, good morning, family and friends. We're here to celebrate and honor the life of Leeward, Kaleolani, Kekauoha. My name is Kavehi. I'm Lee's youngest and only daughter, and I'll be taking you along this journey of Dad. So he was known not only as Leeward, he's also known as Han. Dad, Dad, Dad. Papa. Brada. Uncle. Lee. And of course, Sarge. Most who first lays eyed upon him thought, oh my gosh, that's like a big, scary Hawaiian-looking guy. Others describe him as a handsome man, quiet, cool, and laid back. And most of you who worked for him also expressed that he was the best sergeant you ever had. He had a presence about him that was attractive, magnetic. He never raised his voice. He said very few words, but he conveyed a message loud and clear to anyone he came into contact with. So no matter how you knew him, he was everybody's best friend, and he will always be loved and missed. I'm also lived to my mom. So mom put all of this together. However, she had to put her trust in us because we didn't show her anything until today. So props to mom because she had no idea what the table in the front was gonna look like, any of the portraits, any of this. So she's gonna be just as surprised as you. We'd like to begin by asking Deacon Hioni Bunog. Fun fact, we went to high school together. You give the opening prayer.
That's okay. My prayer. Aloha, everybody, and good morning. Welcome to Kekauoha Church. Let us begin our time in prayer. Please bow our heads and pule with me. Auhe oe ke Kaleolani, e no mako kaupo e kaua ke a koko mai nei, me ka ihi a me ka nao ha'aha'an, no ka omai ka ia ho'onani a oe. E ke akua, we praise you and thank you for calling us together to offer our praise and worship unto you for all that you do in our lives. May we spend time this morning in reflection of all that you are in our daily lives, whether it be in joy and happiness or in some of our most challenging times. We know that you are there for us. Kia kua, we hui this morning to remember Uncle Leeward Kaleolani Kekauoha, whom you've called home to your heavenly kingdom. We thank you and we praise you for his earthly life, and we are blessed to have been a part of it. And we thank you, Kia kua, for the love he shared with Auntie Ellie, Jonathan, Kavehi, and their ohana. We thank you for his service to our community as a member of the Honolulu Police Department. And we thank you for the joy and happiness and laughter that he shared with countless many others, families, and friends. While we mourn and grieve over the absence of Uncle's physical presence in our daily lives, we find comfort and peace in knowing full well that you have called him home as your good and faithful servant. And while we'll miss his physical presence, we know that in our everyday lives and wherever life's journey will take us, he will be with us always. And now, Kia kua, we invite you and the Holy Spirit to roam freely and about this service this morning. Open our eyes to see you, our ears to hear you, and our hearts to know you better. No laila kia kua e ko mako leo pule ha'aha I mua o, a ka pule ai nei mako e ka pule au ia o mai a mako, e ko mako I loko kalani, ke ho'ano ia ko inoa, e hiki mai ko au puni, e mālama ia ko make maka honua nei, e like me ia I mālama ia makalani la, e ha'awi mai ia mako I ke ia la, I aina mako no nei ia la, e kala mai ho ia mako I ka mako lawehala ana, me mako e kala nei ka poe I lawehala I ka mako. Mai ho oku o ia mako I ka ho vale ia mai, e ho pakele no na e ia mako I ka ino, no ka mea, no ke aupuni, a me ka mana, a me ka ho'onani ia a maulo aku. Amene.
Thank you. Cousin Kale Spencer chose a special song to sing for us, and he has a story for you about it. And if you want to follow along with the song, it's on the insert in your program.
Aloha, everybody. Aloha.
Aloha kakaiaka kako. Good morning, everyone. My name is Kale, and for those of you who may not be very familiar with our ohana, Kekauoha, I am one of Uncle Leeward's many nephews. And in short, my mom, Henrietta Spencer, and Uncle Leeward are first cousins. So, Mom, can you raise your hand for me, please? My mom. Thank you, Mom. So, this morning, Pastor Makuakane and I would like to sing a song for you folks titled Aloha Aku, Aloha Mai. But before we begin, I would like to share a brief moment of the meaning or kauna of this song. And so Auntie wanted me to just give a little bit of background about this song. And so this title comes originally from a Hawaiian proverb which originally states Aloha Aku no, Aloha Mai no, and which basically means to give love, or Aloha Aku, or to receive and or return love, Aloha Mai. So to give love or love that is given, Aloha Aku, love that is returned, Aloha Mai. Now, most of us in this room here today, if not all of us, have become very familiar with the word aloha and how it can come to have many multiple meanings, to include but not limited to meanings of compassion, mercy, grace, gratitude, and even at times a simple but heartfelt hello and or goodbye or farewell. And so our Hawaiian culture has shown us that a person or a place or an event or a song such as this morning, to name a few, can have what Hawaiians refer to as the kauna or hidden meaning. For example, nani ke kauna o ke mele, which translates to beautiful is the hidden meaning in this song. And so if someone was to have asked me, what would be the one word that would describe the kauna of this song as it pertains to Uncle Leeward and his life? And for me personally, the kauna would be laughter. And the reason why, and Hawaiians say this as aka aka, and the reason why I say this is because of all the years of my life that I've grown and lived with Uncle Leeward, I've come to know him throughout my life. I known him as a person who always had this resounding, joyful laugh. And Uncle Leeward was always loving to laugh. He loved to laugh. He loved laughter. He was always game for a good laugh. And so it is very interesting that a couple of days ago, I had come across a Hawaiian proverb that I thought was very befitting to Uncle Leeward. And it states, Ehehe ko'aka I ka le'a le'a, and which basically means your laughter is merry, like in Merry Christmas. Your laughter is merry because of joy. And so I just thought that was just so heartwarming, and it brought a smile to my face, because not only was it befitting, but because it was also affirming as well. And so as we sing this song for you this morning, and we play this song, it is our hope and desire that each and every one of us would take and find your personal kauna of this song, as well as to take a moment or two to reflect upon the, if I may say it this way, the many aloha aku, aloha mai moments that each of us may have shared and or encountered with Uncle Leeward from time to time throughout our lives. And so it is with that, as we are gathered here this morning communally in wishing Uncle Leeward farewell and paying our respects, that we'd like to dedicate this song to his loving wife, my Auntie Eleanor Kekauoha, to his daughter and his son, Kavehi and Jonathan, and their respective families, to the entire Kekauoha Ohana, and most importantly and most lovingly, to you, Uncle Leeward, Kaleolani, Kekauoha. We sing this song with much love and gratitude, and as we say, aloha no, farewell for now, until we meet again. Helelei kaua tuai ne me vai maka o Kaleolani e aloha aku aloha mai aloha e kalani a ke a kalani a mai uka ke kai olu mali e aloha aku aloha mai aloha Hei anova ai ano e hoi mai o I ka poli aloha o Hawaii Hakea vehi mahu I ka ulu vehi vehi Kalani a kea kalani a aloha aku aloha mai aloha Hei anova ai ano e hoi mai o I ka poli aloha o Hawaii Hakea vehi mahu I ka ulu vehi vehi Kalani ha kea kalani ha aloha aku aloha mai aloha
Aloha ho. Ka kako helu helu pai pala ma ka olelo Hawaii a me ka olelo Pelekania. Loa ano ma ka puke o Halelu, Halelu mo kuna iwa kalua kuma makolu.
Aloha and good morning. This morning's scripture lesson is taken from the book of Psalm, chapter 23.
O Yehova ko kahuipa, aolea o mea e nele ai. Nana no wau I ho'omoe iho manaina uli uli. Ua alakai oia ia'u ma kapa wailana malie. Ke ho'ala nei oia I ko'u o hane. Ke alakai no oia ia'u manala mai kai no kona inoa. Oia i'o ina e hele au ma ke awawa malu o ka make, aolea au e veli veli I ka pō ino. No ka mea o oi pū ke kahi mea u. O kou mana a me kou ko'oko o kou mau mea e ulu ai. Ke ho'omākaukau mai nei o I ka papaaina na'u ma ke alo o kou mau enemi. Ua kāhinu mai o I ku'u po'o me ka aila. O piha a hu ko'o ki aha. O ia i'o e hahai mau ana ia'u no ka pono a me ke aloha I nā la'a pou o ko'u ola ana. A maloko ka hale o Yehova o wau no e noho maulo aku ai.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You have anointed my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and loving kindness will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. May the Lord add his blessings to the reading of his word. Praise be to God.
I told you she had no idea what I'm going to do. Lee's beautiful wife, his high school sweetheart, love of his life, my mom, has the hali'a aloha about Dad.
Aloha mai kako. As you all know, my name is Ellie Kekauoha. My family and I would like to thank all of you for taking the time off from your schedule to help us celebrate Lee's life, the outpouring of aloha from all of you. Kahu Kenneth Makuakane, Kioni Bunag, Kawaihawa Church Ohana helped outside all of this. Both here and the church are Ohana, who came from far and near. We had a lot of Ohana who flew in from the outer island and the mainland, Mahalo Nui. Our extended Ohana, Kale's family, who also traveled from far and near, and those of you who are with the Honolulu Police Department who worked with Lee or who knew Lee. Districts 3, 4, and 5, Traffic Division, and Solo Bike Detail. And some of you were able to see the procession this morning. It was not something that was on your program, but in preparation for the urn to come to the church, we had the Solo Bike Detail that accompanied the urn, Lee, and Mahalo Nui. My co-workers at Adult Probation and Judiciary Circuit Court, our neighbors on Kekauoha Street, Ihe Place, and our many friends, Mahalo Nui. On Monday, September 16, 2024, Lee passed away unexpectedly. Since June, Lee was having problems and issues with both of his feet, either feeling pain or numbness, making it difficult for him to walk at times. That morning on September 16th, At approximately 5:45 a.m., while I was eating breakfast at the kitchen counter, Lee had woken up early, and then the next thing I know, he was standing next to me, and he didn't have any problems walking, which was so ironic. He then walked afterwards to the living room, which was like next, and sat on the sofa. And approximately 1.5 hours later, I left for work. According to my grandson, Kaino Malu, who was staying with us, who's living with us, he and Lee had breakfast at around 9:15 a.m. They were sitting on the couch in the living room. At approximately 11 o'clock a.m., Lee told Kainoa that he was tired and he wanted to go lie down on the bed, which he doesn't do. He never lies down on the bed during the day. Kainoa followed Lee to the bedroom and sat down beside him for a while. He said that Lee had squeezed his hand tight and had mumbled something. Shortly after, Kainoa left him and went to the back living room. At approximately 1 o'clock p.m., Kainoa went back to the bedroom to check on Lee. When he looked at his grandfather, he knew that his grandfather had passed away. Lee's eyes were opened and he had tears in his eyes. Kainoa called 911 and administered CPR on Lee until EMS came. And then they took Lee into the living room. At approximately 2:58 p.m. while I was at work, I received a phone call from Kainoa. Grandma, Papa left us. He left us, Grandma. I said, what are you saying? Grandma, Papa left us. You have to come home. EMS are here. After I got home, Lee was lying on the carpet. That's where EMS had put him. One of the things that came to my mind was, good thing I had shampooed the carpet the week before. It was soft and clean. It was lying down on a really nice, clean carpet. That evening, I received a phone call from Dr. Masaki Takai, his PCP at Kaiser Permanente. He was also stunned, and he was the one that had to do the pronouncement. And he said, what happened? And he concluded that Lee died of a stroke. The 3 months prior to Lee's passing in June was so significant in retrospect to our family. Very significant. On June the 2nd, Lee fell down in the garage, but he fell on his okole, so he didn't get hurt. He couldn't get up. He was dead weight, so I couldn't reach Kavehi, but I got Kainoa, who came. But by that time, when Kainoa came, Lee had somehow pulled himself onto the exercise bicycle and pulled himself up, so he was sitting up. On June the 5th, we celebrated our 50th wedding anniversary. I took the day off that day, and our son Jonathan, who happened to be by our house, went with Lee and I, and we went to Zippy's Waipahu. Lee and I were low-key, we're not extravagant, but that's what we wanted. And so we enjoyed our anniversary dinner with our son. On June the 8th, afraid that Lee was gonna fall again, Kainoa moved back home to live with Lee and I, which was God sent, that we had the blessing of his parents, Keo and Kavehi. Lee had always talked about Kainoa coming back home to live because we had raised Kainoa from when he was a baby until 5th grade, when he moved to stay with Keo and Kavehi. On June 16th, Lee celebrated his 76th birthday 2 days prior to his birthday date, which is June 18th. We had his favorite Chinese food and ice cream cake. That's his favorite. It doesn't matter, everybody got to eat the same thing. June 21st, my niece Danette and her family, who are here today, and Jerry, Ryan, they flew in from Pasadena for their annual visit and spent about a week with our family, and they stayed with Keo and Kavehi, so they had a chance to be with Lee. On August the 12th, Kainoa celebrated his 22nd birthday. Then during the Labor Day weekend, from August the 30th to September the 2nd, we had our 20-plus annual Kekauoha family reunion with all the cousins and their children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. There's about 50 to 75 of us fitting in the left court's house in Eva Beach. But we make room and we're fine. So we spent time with each other for 4 days, eating, talking story, bonding, like we always do. Nothing fancy, nothing organized. And a lot of them are here today, our cousins. On September 9th was my birthday. At the last minute, Keo and Kavehi wanted us to go to dinner, but Lee felt weak on his legs and was afraid that he was going to fall, so he declined to went out to dinner. On Friday, September 13th, and again on September 14th, which is Saturday, Lee said that he felt good, felt stronger, and he drove himself to the Pearl City Police Station to work out, which he has done for years, and he was with his longtime friend, Dennis Gomes, and his workout partner. And I saw Mel congregation this morning, and it was so ironic that on the Saturday, he told me that was the last time he saw Lee. When he got home, he said that he felt good, and he didn't have any problems with his feet. On Sundays, we usually go to Keo and Kavehi's house for dinner to see our grandchildren. It's this routine schedule that we have on Sundays, with me cooking dinner after church. And after work, Keo would drop by the house, but before he does that, he calls Lee and says that he's coming. And about a minute later, Keo comes by and he picks up Lee and he picks up the food. And then later on, Kainoa and I join them. We're going down to Eva. And then usually some of the neighbors come over, and then we spend time together on Sundays. So on Sunday, the 15th of September, it was a typical Sunday, except that evening, Lee had asked if we were ready to go rather than me asking, are we ready to go? I don't know if he wasn't feeling that well, but that was our clue or cue for us to go home. The following day was September 16, the day he left us. On June 18, 1948, Kalamai, Leeward Kaleolani Kekauoha was born to Alvin and Edna Kekauoha. He was the firstborn of 2 children. Sister Hanani was born 3 years later. If you are familiar with the Nanakuli area, Lee, Haunani, and their cousins lived in their own homes behind where KFC is today. Lee's father had 5 siblings, each had a parcel of land big enough to build a home. As a result, Lee and his cousins grew up and played together, went to each other's house, and walked to school or rode the bike. Lee's father had several businesses in Nanakuli, including Elvin's Drive-In, a tow truck business, service station, and a Chinese restaurant in Waianae. This is where Lee helped his father, and some of our cousins had also worked at the drive-in. During Lee's sophomore year in high school, he attended Hawaiian Mission Academy for the first year, and that's located there's a lot of you said, where is that school? It's on Pensacola Street. And this is where he boarded, because at that time, there were no freeways, so the travel from Nanakuli to Honolulu was an hour and a half or so, or even longer. During his junior year at HMA, I also started my first year as a junior at HMA. I was from Hilo, raised in Kekauoha on Hawaiian homestead land, and flew to Honolulu to attend school. I also boarded at HMA. I was homesick and wanted to return to Hilo, but stuck it out. Later that year, I got over my homesickness, and in time, noticed this good-looking Hawaiian boy. We hung out together, and the rest is history. During that summer, I went back to Hilo to help my mother at her lace shop, and Lee helped his father at his businesses. During our senior year, we returned back to HMA, and Haunani joined us, and she and I were roommates. Lee and I graduated from HMA that year. In the fall of that year, we both enrolled at Loma Linda University in Riverside, California. We were inseparable, and our relationship continued on in college. And we graduated in 1970 and returned back to Hawaii. After returning back to Hawaii, we were still going together, but I spent the summer in Hilo, then relocated back to Oahu, where I worked and attended UH Manoa. Meanwhile, Lee helped his father at his businesses. However, his father told him to get a real job. So Lee turned in several applications with the City and County of Honolulu, including one with the Department of Parks and Recreation. The only one that called him was the Honolulu Police Department. On June 16, 1971, Lee was appointed MPO 1 and assigned to District 1. On June 28, 1971, he started and subsequently finished recruit school, the 54th recruit class. Ironically, one of my first cousins from Puna was also his classmate in that class. On March 1st, 1972, he transferred to the Communications Division, where he was an RTO assigned to District 3 at the Pearl City Police Station. While there, he went to the main station to see then Assistant Chief Thomas Soper in person and asked to be transferred to the bikes, or he threatened to quit the police department. On December 1, 1973, Lee transferred to Traffic Division and was assigned to survey bike. So as you know, his wish was granted. In 1975, we bought our house in Waipahu, and we had our first baby, Jonathan. Lee worked a lot of special duty, and we made 2 round trips from Waipahu to Nanakuli and back, Mondays through Fridays, so that Lee's parents could babysit our Jonathan for free. On July 1, 1976, he transferred to Solo Bike Detail, his dream job. Lee made sure that the bike, which was a Harley, went in first into the garage, and both of our cars had to block the bike in on a daily basis. On September 16, 1980, Lee transferred to District 3 as a motorman. On March 1, 1987, he was promoted to sergeant and transferred to District 4, working mainly at the Kaleolani and Kailua police stations. On December 1, 1987, he transferred to District 5 and worked at the Kalihi station, and his sector was all of the housing projects, KPT, KVH, and so forth. On April 1st, he returned back to District 3, and his sector was Waipahu, where we lived. He also had the storefront office, which included ACS. He remained there until he retired December 30, 1999, with 28 years of service. Incidentally, Lee didn't tell me that he was going to retire. He just signed the papers, came home one day and said, "I'm retiring," and I signed the papers. Following his retirement, Lee worked as a contract hire, working as a safety officer at Waianae High School until the latter part of 2002, when my two oldest grandchildren, Kaino and Justin, were born that same year. Lee became a full-time babysitter for both boys, and then later on, Sienna, my granddaughter, until Kaino started preschool 2 years later. Justin started kindergarten later. Because Justin and Sienna's parents ended the relationship and they went to live with their mother, we no longer saw Justin and Sienna until recently, when we saw Sienna on occasion when she visited Jonathan. And we're happy that they're both here today. We miss them. While at HBD, Lee had paddled for Manu Okekai Canoe Club in Haleiwa. Actually, he had paddled the two previous canoe clubs, but the one that he loved was Manu Okekai. And when he retired, he continued to paddle with the club until he suffered a stroke around 2005. And I saw Aloha Sanborn here this morning, who was the coach's wife. His PCP at Kaiser at the time had recommended that they steer near shore when paddling, which he subsequently did, and he continued to go down to Haleiwa to talk story and help clean up the hale, especially when Manu's head coach, Randy Sanborn, and Randy's son, Kekauoha, was there. Lee had his daily routine of leaving the house at approximately 8:30 a.m. Mondays through Saturdays, driving to the Pro City station to work out with Dennis and sometimes Clayton Cow and Mel congregation. About once a month, Dennis, Joai Wohi, and Lee would get together at our house, usually on a Wednesday, and have lunch and talk story. So ironic that prior to Lee's passing, a few days prior to that, the previous week, Joe had passed away. As I mentioned earlier, every Sunday, we're at Keo and Kavehi's house in Eva, spending time with them and the grandchildren and the neighbors. In the outside covered front patio at their house, Lee sat on the same chair every Sunday. Nobody else could sit there, at the end of the table and facing the road. Everyone knew that was these chairs, so no one else sat in it. Kavehi was the custodian of the chair, and she would boot anybody out who sat on the chair until they had to move. He called her baby. That was his pet. And she always sat next to him, was his spokesman. I sat across Lee. That chair is now empty, Lee's chair. Lee didn't say much, as Kavehi had said, but he was a good listener. One who was careful not to give his opinion made him a favorite to everyone because he didn't take sides and always remained neutral. However, I always knew his position because, in case you didn't know, when we got into the car going home on Sundays, I heard it from him, and I heard it during the week until we went back to the house on Sunday, so he had his opinion. Once in a while, if he knew that we were getting frustrated with someone who wasn't getting it, he would give his circle illustration, pointing out that we're all in the circle and the person who didn't get it was outside the circle. He had a personal rule: don't talk religion and don't talk politics, or it could lead and result in heated debates, bad feelings, arguments, and so forth. He would give a hearty and distinctive laugh, followed with saying, "That's funny." Here we are today, celebrating Lee's life. Loving husband, father, grandfather, uncle and cousin, a friend, a man who prayed twice a day, made sure that his tithe was paid, a never complaining chauffeur to his grandchildren, even though he had to drive them to school in traffic, to get them to and from school, a man who remembered the birthday of everyone in his family, making sure that I had gotten a gift, a man who had lived simple but believed in buying a good brand product that lasted for years, a devout Seahawks fan, a man who didn't complain and kept his opinions to himself, and he was well liked by his family and friends, a police sergeant who took care of his men and women, and a devoted friend. Mahalo nui. Ke akua pu.
Thank you. So when John and I were little, Dad was always playing Hawaiian music on the radio. I think Crystal remembers he had this or most of us remember, he had like that little handheld radio and always asking for batteries, and the antenna was like sticking all the way up. So he would carry that thing everywhere. Radio in one hand and the beer in the other hand, right? And trying to find his chair so he could sit down and listen to the music. He loved anything Hawaiian music. Sometimes he would play the ukulele for us. And it was on that 1420 AM channel, which is how I remembered your phone number, by the way, 293-1420. Your 1420 AM channel is now your sports channel now. And he also listened to 105 Kekauoha. With the introduction of FM 100, he loved that Hawaiian music. He would listen to Simplicity, and his favorite was Kaleolani. I think he was biased because of the name. So every time he heard those songs, he would close his eyes, yeah? And he would just go like this, yeah. I think Cousin Michelle, you remember him closing his eyes all the time when he would listen to music. Anyway, because Mom had said, like Mom had said, they helped to raise Kainoa when he was little. So Kainoa grew up listening to all these songs. A chaplain Kekauoha from the Honolulu Police Department. Where is he? There you are. He has a special ceremony for Dad, and Kainoa chose a song reminding him of his papa. And at the bottom of your insert, you can follow along. Did you want to say something about it?
Good morning, everyone. Aloha. So many of you know me, many of you might not know me. I'm his grandson. I was raised by him from a young age, and I chose this song because he would always listen to it on the radio, that small handheld radio that you were talking about, drinking a beer, wearing a Seahawks hat, having that small radio, and the song would always pop up, and it was from this group called Kaleolani. And he said that he met this group at Leeward Bowl at the time. There was this little bar, and they first came out. There was these 3 women that sang the song, and he said to me, he said, Kainoa, this song is what I want at my funeral. I want this song at my funeral. And so I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. I'm just going to let you guys hear it. But yes, that's just a little bit of it. Thank you.
I've had my share of life's ups and downs, but fate's been kind, and the downs have been few. Well, I guess you could say that I've been lucky. Yes, I guess you could say that it's all because of you. If anyone should ever write my life story, for whatever reasons there might be, oh, to be there between each line of pain and glory, 'cause you're the best thing that ever happened to me. 'Cause you're the best thing that ever happened to me. Well, there's been times when times were hard, but always somehow I've made it
If you were following along in your insert, see that picture? That's Dad's designated seat. And that's cousin EJ's Eva Beach necklace he's wearing. With his favorite beverage in the background. But Kahu Ken is gonna provide us with our scripture, our message today.
All right. They were overusing the podium, so I thought I'd use my own this time. Aloha mai kako, aloha. You guys look so sad. What's going on? You know, we were talking about Psalm 23, and it starts with, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." That's somebody who takes care of you, so you don't even worry, right? The Lord is my shepherd. But the man of the house took care of you, took care of everybody. So you didn't need to worry about anything because you know you always had home base, right? Home base is someplace that you can always know that there's a foundation that you can come to. So no matter where you go, there'll always be some place that you can come back to. I was, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had a meeting, but I only get one car. And so my family always comes with me so that they can go Kihilini someplace while I come to work. But I had a meeting and I was getting late for the meeting. I live in Kailua. And so because we started late, I was kind of overstepping my gas pedal because I had to get to my meeting over here at church. And I came down the Pali and I almost made it to Waukanaka, which is the first stoplight you get to in the Pali. And the popo caught me. But the guy was the sweetest guy. He goes, "Oh, uncle, come on." I know. So, you know, he gave me the ticket. And all day I was looking at my ticket and I was going, "Wow, God. I was rushing so I could do your work, and you wouldn't give me one ticket for doing your work." You know how that goes? All of a sudden, I was the victim, and I was feeling all victimized. I wasn't blaming the police, but I was just blaming God because I said, "Well, you have to put this guy over here." I mean, I was following the cars that were going fast, so how come you only even stopped me? You never stopped the other guys. So the thing was, all day I was all ha'alulu, you know, I was kind of angry at God because he put the police over there. And then late in the afternoon, my wife and my kid came pick me up, and we went back to Kailua, but you know, we started back about 7:30, and in Kailua, seemed like they roll up the town like real early, so they didn't have a restaurant to go to, except had this one place. And so I stopped over there, and we were the last ones because they closed at 8, and we was there 7:58. And so we ordered our food, and they got us the food. We sat down at the table and then had this guy by himself. He brought his food. Turned out to be a friend. And I said, "Hey, come sit by us." And so he sat by us, and he looked kind of sad. And so I said, "Hey, what's going on?" And he said, "Well, my 13-year-old daughter just got molested at school." And I went, "What?" And he started unpacking this story. And I was thinking to myself, self, this is the mirror. Self, you're such a jerk. Because all you was doing was thinking about yourself, but God was preparing you for this poor guy that was sitting in front of you tonight that needed your help. And all he was doing was telling you to release your ego so that you can find something about what's going on with this guy? And so as he started unpacking all these things that happened to this little baby, I looked at him and I said, bro, you're hurting. So what about daddy? Daddy need help too, not just your daughter, but daddy need help. He goes, I know, man. I like take a wrong gun. I like shoot the guy, and then I like shoot him again. I like, you know how fathers are when you're going to hurt their daughter, you're going to do that. And so I began counseling him, and I was thinking to myself after we finished, and he was all settled, that God put me in one situation of getting me feeling sorry for myself. And my situation was like nothing ever compared to my dear friend who was having this issue. But he was having an issue, not just because of the daughter, but him. And so that's what policemen do. They put themselves in the gap. But a lot of times when they go, hey, thanks, sir. Because, you know, the policeman who stopped me, maybe I would have run over somebody because I was trying to go too fast. Maybe I would have hit another car because it was raining a little bit and my tires was a little bald. So what is God trying to tell me? Because God is my shepherd. So I don't need anything. So God is telling me, brah, I know you can do my work, but I never tell you for rush because it's in my time, not your time. And just because I'm going to get there, and I'm going to do something that's supposed to be on God's time. So he went, so get over yourself because I get more work for you to do. That's what policemen do. Because they got to take all of these things. They don't see the beauty. A lot of times they only see the ugly. How do you take away the ugly? Many times, like myself, you know, everybody come to you, but who filling your cup up? Who's filling the policeman's cup up after they go and try to be a good guy to help people? And they yelling at you for helping them or helping the one that they don't like you help. You get it? God is telling us, I'm your shepherd. Lean on me, and whatever you do, hey, who cares if they don't like you? I will always love you. I will always take care of you. And in the end, even though you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, fear no evil, for I will walk with you. Whatever you go through, I am going to help you get through this. In 1999, my sister and my brother-in-law were law enforcement officers with the National Park Service. So I'm from Hawaii Island. We all come from Kekauoha. And they live in Kona. And my brother-in-law got a call at the beach that somebody was creating havoc with the tourists. So he went down there, the sweetest guy, to go try to tell the guy, oh, come on, brah. Give it a chill. The guy had his attack dogs put my brother-in-law down. He took the gun and at point blank shot my brother-in-law 5 times at point blank. That's what police and law officers have to go through, and their families for the rest of their life. But they choose to do it even though, because it's about service, because we are community people. So how do we, as the community, embrace an organization that we don't even think about because we think, I know where they're hiding out, so I'm going to slow down when they're there, or I know all these things because we're trying to get away from people that's supposed to be protecting us. Because I hear police sirens all the time. This church is right. I'm surprised that I don't hear sirens going here because you must hear about 5 million times a day. One day my dad was in town. My dad was a minister and he came in for meetings a lot and he stayed with us down in Kailua. And so I was down at the district park because I played tennis. I was playing with my friends. But at the district park where the library is, there's a police station that make big noise with the sirens. And then there's the irritating fire department that has the emergency vehicles that every time you go, I know, Joe, well, let me continue the story. The irritating fire department that get the EMT, that the thing is always going up. And so just when you're ready to whack the ball, get that irritating sound. And so I'm like, oh, gosh. So this one particular day, my dad was in town, and I was exercising, and I was just ready to hit this nice ball to beat the guy. And then the irritating fire department EMT sound came up. And I was thinking, God, fun at these jerks. And then I kept playing, and 2 minutes later, I hear my cell phone. So I go, oh, wait, it's my wife, you know. The wife is the boss, right? So you got to answer that one. So I took my cell phone, and I go, oh, hi, honey. She goes, Dad, you got to come home. I said, why? Because something's wrong with Dad. And I go, what? She goes, come home now. The fire department's here because Dad is down. I run home, and the people I was raging at 2 minutes ago was rushing to my house to save my father's life. You see what a jerk I am? Because I keep thinking that these people that are trying to help me, trying to help you, I'm so self-serving that I didn't care. From that moment on until today, every time I hear a sound, I pray for that fire engine. I pray for that police. And I'm praying for the people that they're going to tell them, no worry, brah, or no worry, sister. Help is on the way. And that's what Psalm 23 does for us. It says, the Lord is my shepherd. No worry, I get him. No scared him. I'm on the way. Whenever you need help, I'll be there for you. And that's what our community does. That's what our police force does. That's what our fire department does. That's what all these people that we don't even take into account do for people like me who think that they are nothing. And in the end, come to find out that they are there to help me even when I think that they're there to hurt me. And so I say, God bless the police. God bless the fire people. God bless our community as we always remember who is there when we need help. Because we only call on them when we need help, just like how we only call on God when you need help. You guys ever call on God when you need help? Because you all that on a bag of poi, right? Yeah, I get them. But then when you don't get them, then all of a sudden, you got to call the people who you know going to come to you. I'm going to grab something. "25 years ago, I write a lot of songs, and this one particular song I wrote 25 years ago, but I wrote it in Las Vegas. And part of it was missing home, and part of it was missing the people. Not the people that are still here, but the people that have left my life. The ones who mentored me, the ones who loved me, the ones who cared for me, even when I thought that they weren't there for me. When Hawaiians write music, we write with kauna, right? And so we think, like pua is a flower, but they also mean children. There are many things that we use in life. And so I was thinking about those people that have passed. And when I think about the wind to me represents their voice. And so I'm going to send this out to you, Ellie, because if you ever hear this song, know that not the memory, but the life is still here. And so you just change the name from to anyone you want, and they will always be with you. I hear the wind traveling down the Kaleolani. It touches my skin and makes me think of how much I miss you, my Hawaii. And I breathe the fragrance of a yellow ginger lake. And I look inside myself to find the words to say how I miss you, my Hawaii. Every time I stop to watch the moon dance across the early evening sky, every time I hear a country tune, I can see the shores of Waianae. And every time I listen to my heart telling me it longs to go back home, makes me want to, 'cause I miss you, my love. To Kekauoha and all those who stand with us and for us, even when we stand against them. This is for all those who stand in the gap, who create the bridge of life that keeps us as a community joined together. God bless you. Amen.
Thank you, Kahu Ken. I have a mo'olelo for you. So mom and I got together, and she said, you know, I want Auntie Bootsy to dance a hula for Dad. Okay. And she had a song in mind, and this kind of goes off of what Kahu Ken and Kale was saying about listening, opening your ears and your heart to God. And I don't know why I jumped at it and I told Mom, no, I'm gonna pick the song. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what to pick out of millions of songs, but for some reason, something inside was like, no, pick the song. So anyway, taking the kids to school, and this song from Josh Totofi came on, Leolani, and Holy Spirit just came and it clicked. Oh my goodness. Part of Dad's name. I'm listening to the words, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I think this is it. And it's funny how if you just, well, it's not funny, but you just have to take the time to listen. Just stop and listen. And God speaks to you. Your loved one speaks to you. You just gotta take the time to listen. Actually, Sister Kupio and I, this is, again, Mom had no idea we were gonna do this. She had no idea what this song was. Sister Kupio and I sat down and we chose this song for you. Josh Totofi wrote it again as a love song to his girlfriend at the time, but we switched it as a love song for you to Dad. So again, on your insert, which is why we have their wedding photo on there, and it also matches the leis, the background matches the leis that you wore at your wedding. So everything kind of falls into place. And this is our gift to you.
Please join me in prayer for the closing benediction. Nā Yehowa oe e ho'o mai ka i mai a e mālama mai. Nā Yehowa e kau mai ka mālama lama o kona maka maluna i ho'o a e loko mai ka i mai a oe. Nā Yehowa e māliu mai a oe a e haawi mai I ka malu no. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance on you and give you peace. Ma kainoa ka makua a me ke keiki a me ka uhane he molele. Amen.
I ka ua i na pali. Ke nihi a ela i kana hele. E hai ana pai ka liko. Ua hihile bua o uka. Aloha oe, aloha oe, e ke ona noho i ka lipo. One fond embrace, aho'i a'eo, until we meet again. Until we meet again.
Aloha everyone, mahalo nui for coming. We thank all of you for taking again the time to come and celebrate Lee's life. We have refreshments outside for those of you who wish to have refreshments. And we're going to be here after the service. If you'd like to come up and see us again. But again, mahalo nui, and God bless all of you. Aloha. Kawehi, you have anything else? Yeah. Kawehi has a few words. Yep.
She's still looking at me like, what are you guys doing?
We'd like to thank everybody for coming once again and celebrating Dad's life. Every one of you here had a very special, everybody here had a very special impact on his life. And we very much appreciate that you guys have come together here today. So after the service, all of you are invited to the left court residence to continue Dad's celebration if you would like to. And so that's open for everyone. And we would appreciate very much if you guys would join us. Thank you.
I'd like to thank everyone who helped to put this celebration together today. Outside in the front, all these decorations here, all the hard work. So many of you, if not all of you, helped to do this. Thank you for all your comfort, words of comfort, checking up on us, phone calls, texts, checking up on us during work hours to see if we're okay. Our family coming from so far away and near. Friends that I haven't seen for years from HPD. Thank you for coming. And God bless all of you. Alo nui.
Thank you, family and friends. Thank you again, like Mom said, everyone who helped us, because we couldn't have done any of this without all of you. So all of you are appreciated, and you hold such a special place in our hearts and our family. Thank you for honoring Dad. He wouldn't have wanted this any other way. He just liked to have fun, and he would have been so happy to see all of you here. Mahalo, God bless.
Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Sometimes it feels like this world's gone crazy. Grandpa, take me back to yesterday, when the line between right and wrong didn't seem so hazy. Did lovers really fall in love to stay, stand beside each other, come what may? Is promise really something people kept, not just something they would say? Families really bow their heads to pray. Daddies really never go away. Oh, oh, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Grandpa, everything is changing fast. We call it progress, but I just don't know. Grandpa, let's wander back into the past, then paint me the picture of long ago. Lovers really fall in love to stay, stand beside each other, come what may. Promise really something people kept, not just something they would say and then forget. Families really bow their heads to pray. Daddies really never go away. Oh, oh, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Oh, oh, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Families really bow their heads to pray. Daddies really never go away.
Lihui, take two. Aloha no maoli Ikane e mai a ka ua pau pili. Aloha ia no lihu e. Ikane e mai a ka ua pau pili. Ua pili no wau me kualoha. Me ke kai ne he mai au nyumalu. Ua pili no wau me kualoha. Me ke kai ne he mai au nyumalu. Ua malu ko kino nau hokahi. Na kanani pua rose a o haleloa. Wala no wau me kualoha. A kau i ka pua o ka lana kila. Ahi vai vai nui nau kualoha. Ka lana na ka ina malihini. Ahi vai vai nui nau kualoha. Kau lana no kau aina malihini. He aku no wau mai oe. Na ka pua lei mo mi po ina ole. He aku no wau mai oe. Na ka pua lei mo mi po ina ole. Ai ai ko na kai o puha I ka a o he lua e like me ai ai ko na kai o puha I ka a o he lua e like me Mali ni mako ia oe I kona. I ke kono a keu ke aloha no mako. kono o keu ke aloha no loko.
ma ke kai Ohono liwai Wahine I likea I ka poli o moloka I no ka heke Nani wale no Na wai lele uka O hina O haha O mo'oloa Na wai e kolu I ka wehi wehi O ka malo I ka mali e Ua ka lau Ma ke kai Ohono liwai Wahine I likea I ka poli o moloka I no ka heke Nani wale no ka aina halawa O me ho'okipa a ka malihini Aina uluwehi I ka noe ahi ahi Ua lawe mai e ka makani o olua Ua ka laulu ma ke kai Ohono liwai Wahine I likea I ka poli o moloka I no ka heke
E aha ia na o mauna kea Uahi vialo pu me ke hau Alawa I ho o e a mauna loa E moa ua ke ai ka mali e Ua kuau mahalo I ka nani Ka halea ka waihu ia